Hello NC, how are you? This is Miss Kellen. So other than the literature circle, I also got a little something for you over the weekend, alright? So actually this is the focus book chapter 5, school. And when you open your book, you can go turn to page number, and then you'll easily find this article that we have already started reading. Yeah, I think we have already gone through this article before the holiday began, so you should be quite familiar with this article, right? I hope so. So now, why don't we just start with question 4 together? Okay, question 4. Let's read the questions together. Jima is a South Korean student and read the text about her school day or the statements true or false. Okay, let's read the statement together. Number 1, Jimin has to wear a school uniform. Let's see whether she needs to wear a school uniform like you girls. So here, Jimin wears exactly the same clothes as other girls in her school because school uniform is compulsory. Okay, so compulsory is a word that means something that's by rule, you must do it. So when wearing school uniform it's compulsory, that's very likely that she is wearing school uniform every day. So for this statement, Jimin has to wear a school uniform. Do you think it's a true statement? Yes, I think so. So I'll write down a T here. Okay, so statement number 2, she wears trainers in school. So the word trainers, what are trainers? Trainers are actually another word for sports shoes, like the one that you wear during the PE lessons. So let's see whether she wears trainers in school. When she gets to school, she takes off her shoes and puts on a pair of slippers. Okay, now it's actually the slippers that she's putting on. So it's not trainers, and slippers are like actually the one that you usually put in at home, the comfy one. So that means this statement, she wears trainers in school, it's not correct, which is a false statement. So I have to put an F here, okay? Good. Okay, now statement number 3. She studies 11 subjects, including PE, music, and art lessons. That's quite a lot of subjects, just like you girls. Let's see if this is true to her. Ta-da! It's a demanding timetable. She studies 11 subjects, but she doesn't have time for non-academic subjects. So she has dropped PE, music, and art. Well, she has already dropped something. So that means when she dropped some lessons, I mean she's no longer taking it. You can actually do this when you're in Form 4, also when you're getting to university. But right now, as a Form 1 student, you can't drop any lesson yet. So it's a little bit different from you girls. So she studied 11 subjects, including PE, music, and art. I am afraid this is a false statement. So I have to write down F here because she's not taking those lessons actually. So statement number 4, she wants to study English abroad. She wants to study English abroad. When you study English abroad, that means you want to study English overseas, somewhere else, outside your own country. Okay, study abroad. You can learn this phrase, study abroad. So let's see whether she wants to study somewhere else. Ta-da! Okay, I think it's here. So English is her favorite subject, and she is hoping to go to Australia in the summer and do a course in English. Okay, so she wished to go to Australia in summer to do a course in English. That means she's studying abroad, studying overseas in Australia. So that means this statement, she wants to study abroad, it's a correct statement. Yes, it's a true statement. So I can make it true here, okay? T. So the last one, she always goes to bed before midnight. Okay, I hope you girls are going to bed before midnight, right? Let's see, how about this girl, Jimin? Right, talks about the time here, so maybe I can just look at this area. She doesn't go back home until 10 p.m. And after dinner, she does her homework when she has to revise for a test, and she often carries on. Carries on means you continue studying until 1 or 2 a.m. Oh, that's way beyond midnight, right? So in this case, does she go to bed before midnight? I'm afraid not, because she actually said at 1 or 2 o'clock after midnight. So the statement is false. All right. So cool. So I hope that you understand the statement and why these are true or false. Okay. Now I want to move on to part 5, which is slightly harder than part 4 because it needs you to use your brain a little bit more. So let's look at the question. Replace the underlined words These are the underlined words, okay? And phrases in the question with the correct form. Make sure to use the correct form of the phrasal verbs and read in the text. So the phrasal verbs are these: gets up, gets on, meets up, takes up, puts on. These are the words in red, okay? These are the words: carries on, gets into. Okay, so use these words to do this part. Understand? So for the first one, what time does Jimin get out of bed? So we need to find something to replace get out of bed, right? So the answer here is use gets up. Let's see whether gets up is the right word. Yeah, it's the right word here, so it's right. So what time does Jimin get up? Remember, we don't use gets up here because it's a question. As we already have a does in the front. Okay, so does, if we add a does in the front in the question already, we can omit the s at the back. Okay, so this is the correct one, and this is the answer for you. So let's try to do one question. Okay, so let's try to do one question together, and I want you guys to do the rest by yourself. Okay, is it cool? Is it cool? Okay, let's try this. Let's do number 2. Is she friendly with all her classmates? So you need to find something to replace is she friendly with, okay? Is she friendly? I think she's a friendly girl. Let's see. I got gets on with. Here it says she gets on with all her classmates. Actually, gets on with means being friendly and coping well with the friends. Okay, so gets on with will be the phrasal verb that we need to use here. So we need to write that she, instead of saying is she friendly, we can use that she gets on with all her classmates. So you can just write down next to the question, write down, make it into a question, dash she gets on with her classmates. It's a question, okay? So that she gets on with her classmates. Again, I use a does as a question here. So at the back, you don't need an s, right? Don't put an s at the back, okay? So make sure that you're using the correct form. That's why this is important. You need to check your answer. Make sure that you don't make the grammatical mistakes. Okay, so this is the answer for question number 2. So what I want you to do is, hey friends, what I want you to do is I want you to do question 3, 4, 5, and 6 on your own. Okay, and we're going to check the answer next week. I want you to do it over the weekend. Is it cool? I think it's quite easy. I think you can do it. Okay, the next thing that I want you to do is, ta-da, it's actually the word store. Okay, so what I need you to do is to go to the very back with this little book and turn to page 11. Yes, 11, page 11. So this is the page that I want you to do. And okay, for the first part of the word store, you need to use the phrasal verb in red again. So again, it's actually the word that we talked about just now, or the one in red. Gets up, gets on, meets up with, takes up, puts on, gets into, carries on. These are the phrasal verbs in red. Okay, so use these words to find the meaning on the other page. Okay, so these are the definitions. Continue, get a place, be friendly with. These are all the definitions. So I want you to write down the words and then to match with the definitions. And after this part, you can go to this part, number 7. And you use all these words on here, this page, to fill in the blanks on this part 7, the question 7. Okay, with all these fill in the blanks words. Okay, so I want you to do these 2 parts with the phrasal word in reds. And while you move on to 5b, here we need to use the underlined words and phrases. See? Underlined words and phrases. Underlined words and phrases. So the underlined words and phrases will be classmates, demanding, compulsory, has dropped, due course, by her, skip, all these words, okay? So use these words to find the definitions again on this side of the page, okay? So basically, for 5A and 5B, you just need to find the definitions, okay? Okay, maybe we can do one together. Let's pick, which one should we pick? Maybe we can do 7. Learn something equals to memorize, okay? How do you learn something equals to memorize? You can learn something by heart. You can learn something by heart. That means it is to memorize. So you just write down, learn something by heart equals to memorize. Understand? Understand how to do. You find the word by heart here, and then you fill in the blank here, okay? So, and the last part is the 5C. 5C part, this time you need to use the highlighted phrases, which are these get to school, get home, get late, all these words, okay? So this time you need to use the highlighted phrases. And so I need to move on to this part to talk about the gets one. So actually for the get, it's a very simple verb, but we can use it to convey different meanings, all right? Okay, so today we're going to learn about how to use the word gets. Perhaps you can use a highlight tag to highlight the word gets. Okay, gets. Okay, the first meaning of gets is actually to, it means become. Okay, become. The examples will be, you add an adjective or past participle after get, it will have this becoming meaning. Okay, for example, get better. Yeah, I think your cough is getting better. You're recovering. You're becoming better now. Get cold. Yeah, look at the weather. It's getting cold. Okay, I'm going to use this. It's getting cold. It's getting cold. Becoming cold. Get dark. Okay, look at the sky outside. It's already 5 o'clock. The sky's getting dark. Get ready. Get ready. Okay, you have to get ready. We have to go for dinner soon. Okay, get ready. Becoming ready. So here, the example is get late. So you have to hurry up or else it's getting late. So I want you to give me 2 more examples using this get to convey this becoming meaning. Okay, for example, I can say get well. Don't use my example, okay? Think of some example by yourself. Or I can say get started. Or I can say get started. Get started, which is a past participle. Started, right? Get started. Becoming is already started. Becoming started. We are getting started. Okay. Now the second meaning of get will be obtain or receive. That's why I draw the 2 little hands here to show you the meaning. Get can have obtain or receive meaning. Get a present. Get a reply. Get a text message. So give me 2 examples of how you use get. Okay, that should be quite easy. Number 3. The last one is to arrive, okay, to get to somewhere, okay? So usually it's followed by a noun, a place, okay? For example, get there, get to London, get to work, get to the station, or you can say get to school, or you can say get to the restaurant, something like that, okay? So, hey girls, I think it's actually quite easy. So these are the little word tests that I want you to do over the weekend. If you don't understand, you can just go to the e-class and ask Miss Kelly a question, or you can ask Mata, and the Mata is going to send me the message, alright? So, all in all, at IO, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.